Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we are covering the financial system and basically what we are doing, we are covering the payment and the settlement system, right? These are the topics we have scheduled for the discussion under it, like the introduction, like the National Electronic Fund Transfer, immediate payment service, real-time gross settlement, unified payment interface, and the conclusion. So far, we have done with the introduction, and right now we are discussing about the National Electronic Fund Transfer. So, the topics we are left with: immediate payment service, real-time gross settlement, unified payment interface, and the conclusion. Okay, so that's the picture we have created so far. So let's start with the National Electronic Fund Transfer. Okay, so about receiver's notification we had completed in the previous lecture. Now the sender's notification. The sender receives a notification confirming the successful completion of the NEFT transaction. The recipient also receives a notification informing them of the credit to their account. Like we have seen, once you proceed the transaction, so if you are a sender, rupees 25,000 will be showing debited from your account. Okay, and if you are a receiver, so rupees 25,000 will be showing credited in your account, right? So that's how the things work. Now we have the eligibility of a NEFT. Like how could the sender or buyer could be eligible for using the National Electronic Fund Transfer. The NEFT or the National Electronic Fund Transfer is available to individuals, to firms and the corporates who have accounts with banks participating into the NEFT network. It means that if someone wants to use the NEFT, whether it's a sender or the receiver, okay, so he must require to having a bank account in NEFT network bank. Okay, for example, suppose if there are XYZ, PQR, ABC, TF, GHI. There are 5 banks. Out of 5, this is under the NEFT. This is under the NEFT. Not under the NEFT. Okay. So if you want to use the NEFT as a sender or the receiver, then it's required that you must have the account in the XYZ, in the ABC, or in the GHI. If you are having the account in the PQR and the DEF, you will not be able to use the NEFT as these banks are not a part of the NEFT network. So first thing is that you must having your account as an individual, firm or the corporates in those banks which are the participating in the NEFT network. Okay. So first is the account holder. Any individual, firm or the corporate entity holding an account with a bank that is a member of NEFT network is eligible to use the NEFT. Okay. Membership. Banks need to be the members of the NEFT network to facilitate the NEFT transactions for their customers. Most major banks in India are members of the NEFT networks. Like in the just previous example, we had seen that there are 5 banks, out of 3 are the members, rest 2 are not. Okay, so those 3 who having the membership of the NEFT are able to proceed the NEFT process for their members. Those who do not having the NEFT membership, they are not eligible, or you can say not allowed to facilitate the NEFT procedure. Okay, but most major banks in India are the members of the NEFT network, so that's why this kind of issue generally not arises. Type of account. NEFT could be used for both savings and the current accounts, allowing individuals and businesses to make the electronic fund transfer. The only difference is between the savings account and the current account. Okay, the saving accounts requires sufficient balance to proceed transactions. Okay, whereas the current accounts could proceed transactions even doesn't have sufficient balance through process of overdraft. For example, like we had seen, if you are proceeding rupees 25,000, okay, or you can say you are making a transaction of this denomination. In saving accounts, if you are only having rupees 20,000, then the transaction will be denied because you are not having the sufficient balance in your account to proceed the transaction. But in the same case, if the same case is with the current account, then transaction will be approved. Okay, so this is the main game. Type of account. All right. Transaction limit. NEFT does not have a minimum transaction limit, but there is usually a maximum transaction limit per transaction set by individual banks. Customer can check with their banks for the specific limits applicable to them. Okay. However, generally there is no minimum and you can say maximum transaction limit. Generally there is nothing. Okay, but as per the individual banks, or you can say as per the services they provided, they could set the maximum transaction limit. Okay, which could be vary from bank to bank, and the customers having the right to check their banks for the specific limits applicable to them. But remember, whenever it's a case of cash transfer, okay, then remember always the limit will be at rupees 50,000 at one time. Okay, only rupees 50,000 could be proceeded at one time. Okay, that's we call as a transaction limit. Transaction charges. Banks may charge a nominal fee for the NEFT transaction, which can vary based on the amount transferred and the type of accounts held by the customer. Okay, so basically, yes, the banks are providing the NEFT services, right? This is the service providing to you. All right, so that's why the banks are entitled to charge the nominal fee, okay, which could be vary on the amount transferred. For example, suppose there is 3 type of charges usually. Okay, first is up to rupees 10,000. Okay. Second is up to 10,000 to 1 lakhs. Okay. Then up to 1 lakhs to 2 lakhs. If this is the situation, up to 10,000, up to 10,000 to 1 lakhs, up to 1 lakhs to 2 lakhs, this is the situation, then what will be the charges? For 10,000, 2.25% plus GST. 10,000 to 1 lakh. 4.75% plus GST. Okay. Thereafter, 1 lakh to 2 lakh. How much? 14.75 plus GST. So these are the charges applicable on NEFT. Got it? So these are the charges. However, this could be varied from bank to bank and the account type. But here I have just given you a normal picture. All right. So remember this. Correct details. To complete a NEFT transaction successfully, customer need to ensure that they enter the correct details of the recipient, including the recipient's name, account number, IFSC code, and the amount to be transferred. Because then only the accuracy of transaction could be ensured. Suppose if you are entering the name of Mr. X, IFSC code is for Mr. X, okay, but bank account number is of Mr. Y. What will happen? When the bank will try to establish an interbanking communication, or you can say when the bank will try to proceed the transaction, what they will find? They will find the name which you have entered here. Sorry, the account number which you have entered here and the name which you have entered here is having the condition of mismatch. Okay. And whenever this will happen, what will happen? Transaction will be denied or false. Either the amount will be transferred into the wrong account, or you can say the transaction will be cancelled altogether. Okay, that is the need why the correct details are required to be filled up properly. Got it? Discrepancies. Any discrepancy in the details provided for an NEFT transaction can lead to the transaction being rejected or delayed. It is essential to double check all the details before initiating an NEFT transaction. As we have seen, if the details are not correct or having any mismatch, either the transaction will be completely rejected, or you can say transaction will be delayed until or unless the accurate information provided. Okay, this could be happen. After finishing the NEFT, now we have the IMPS, also known as immediate payment service. So what do you mean by this? Let's see. Introduction. Immediate payment service is an electronic fund transfer system in India that allows account holders to instantly transfer money from one account to another. By the name only, you could conclude that it is a system which could be used for the instantly transfer. Okay, so remember, it is also in the electronic form, or you can say in the digital form, but it is used for the instant transfer. Okay, introduced in 2010, IMPS has become popular due to its quick and the convenient services, attracting Indian customers seeking a hassle-free way to transfer money. Like when we talk about the NEFT. Okay, so remember, NEFT was fast, but not immediate. Okay, requires few minutes or few time as it's clear in batch processing. Okay, remember this thing. NEFT is fast but not immediate. Why? Because it's required the few minutes or the few time as it clears in the batch processing, either on the hourly basis or half hourly basis. Got it? Remember the year in which it was introduced? It was introduced in the 2010. Okay. So if we talk about the feature of the IMPS, the first is instant fund transfer. IMPS provides customers with the convenience of the instant fund transfer, allowing them to send and receive money immediately. Okay. Round the clock availability. IMPS is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, making it a practical option for users who need to transfer money or the funds at any time of the day or night. Okay, or you could also, you could also call it as a 24/7. Okay, so it is available 24/7, and because it could use to transfer the money instantly. Okay, that's why it is a practical option for users who need to transfer money at any time of the day or night. Why? Because if we talk about the NEFT, so NEFT works around the clock, but mainly activate in the working hours in which it's having the hourly batches, and you can say evening hours in which they having the half hourly batches, right? Okay, so that's how the round the clock availability works. Multiple access channels. IMPS can be accessed through various channels, including the SMS, mobile banking apps, internet banking platforms, offering customer a diverse range of options for initiating transactions. Okay, like by using the SMS service, by using the mobile banking apps, and by using the internet banking platforms, or you can say the websites, you could access the IMPS system. It means that you are not rely on the one single thing. Okay, this gives the customer a diverse range of option for initiating the transaction as per the availability. Okay, thereafter we have the high level security. IMPS ensures the security of customer transactions through encrypted protocols, protecting sensitive information from unauthorized access or the interaction. Okay, so you could say, suppose this is you, this is me. You are the buyer or the sender. Okay, I am the you can say seller or the receiver, you are required to give me the amount or give me the money. Okay, so this is the transaction which is initiated here, end up here. Okay, so the middle of it means from this place to this will be in the encrypted form. It means that what are the details will be shared from here to there. No one in between. Suppose this one, this is an agency, or you can say whatsoever, this is an outsider. And remember, this is unauthorized. Okay, unauthorized means the person does not having any permission to look into this matter. Whereas if we talk about the financial intelligence agencies, banks and all, they are basically the authorized agencies and persons. They could easily enter into the transaction. But because we are talking about the outsider, this means that the person who is unauthorized, this person could not having the access in this transaction. Okay, so that's why it is known as the highly secure transaction. Why? Because from point 1 to point 2, it is in the encrypted form. It means that it is hard to decode or hard to leak, sensitive information. Got it? That's make it is a high level security platform. Affordability. What do you mean by this? IMPS is a cost-effective option compared to the traditional payment methods such as check payments or the wire transfer, making it an attractive choice for the customer looking to save on transaction fees. Okay, so basically when we talk about the other traditional payments mode, like the check payments, all right, like the wire payments, so basically these are entitled to charge service fees or nominal fees against the transaction. Okay, which is generally unavailable, or you can say not unavailable, but the most appropriate word you could use here is less in IMPS in comparison with the other available traditional banking methods. Okay, in comparison with other available traditional banking methods. All right, so that's make it more affordable in comparison with the other system. Okay, then the internet banking facility, customer need to have the internet banking enabled for their bank account to use the IMPS because it is in the electronically or in digital form. All right, so students, basically in this lecture we have done here. In the next lecture we will continue from here. Till then, just revise all the facts and figures we have discussed in this lecture. Be ready for the another lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture, and what we say, thank you.